Hey guys, welcome back. Mr. Lancaster here. We are going to go to our next lesson. Why do dogs wag their tails? So this is something that I'm sure all of us want to know, or maybe you just already know the answer because it means they're happy. But we want to go into the science of it, like always. So let me share my screen with you. So if you, hold on one second. So if you go on to Google Classroom and you go to the bottom where it says science linked to activities, and then you go to mystery 6, why do dogs wag their tails? So let's see what Doug has to say, or not. Maybe Doug doesn't want to say anything. 1 second. There it goes. Let me share my computer sound with you.
You have a pet at home, a cat, a dog, a hamster, a goldfish even?
No.
I've had a lot of pets in my life, but one of the more unusual pets I've ever had is this. This is my pet tortoise.
Maybe you've had a pet turtle before. My friend had a pet gecko. This is pretty cool.
A type of turtle that lives on land. His name is Mr. Tortoise. I know, it's not the most original name. My youngest daughter was 2 years old when she helped me name him. I think he's great. He's actually one of the easiest pets I've ever had. He barely makes a mess. He only eats once a day. He doesn't make any loud noises. But recently, a friend of mine came over, and he was joking with me. He said, "Mr. Tortoise isn't really a pet." "Of course he is," I said. I was surprised. "What do you mean?" My friend said, "Look, the tortoise just sits there. He doesn't get excited when you come home. He doesn't snuggle with you on the couch when you watch TV." My friend was just being playful with me, but he had a good point. Mr. Tortoise is not like a dog. If you've been around dogs much, then you probably know what I'm talking about. It's true, dogs get happy to see you. They're cuddly and they snuggle with you. Dogs are actually a lot like people. When they do something bad, they even know it. Check out this video.
Cookie!
Aww.
What is all this?
Oh,
What did you do? Come here.
Aww.
Say sorry. How do you say sorry?
Dogs show that they feel guilty. What is it about dogs that makes them so special in this way? It seems like even though dogs don't use words, they have ways of communicating with us. Where did this come from? Why are dogs special this way, but a pet like a tortoise or a fish doesn't do that? What do you think?
So why do you think it might be helpful for dogs to communicate with each other? Like wagging their tails or rolling on their back, or maybe like the way they yawn. I don't know if you've ever seen, I used to watch this guy who was a dog trainer, and one of the communications of dogs was they would yawn. And then they take their tongue and they put it out like that. And what that meant for dogs was that everything was okay, and I'm not a threat. It's pretty interesting. You actually see dogs do that with other dogs a lot when they first meet them. Or why do dogs always sniff each other's butts? Like, that's weird, right? I'm glad I'm not a dog because I don't want to do that. So why do you think it's helpful for them to communicate with each other? Why is it helpful for us to communicate? Do all animals communicate? So do snakes communicate? Probably not. Do elephants communicate? Yeah, they communicate. So maybe it just depends on whether the animal is by itself or if it lives with other people. I'm gonna put my head up here. I like this much better. Oh, so cute.
You learned in a previous mystery that dogs originally came from wolves that live in packs. They were bred into dogs over many years, using selection by human beings. Wolves and dogs are still a lot alike to this day, especially in many of the expressions that they make. Like dogs, wolves also bow when they want to play. Scientists have studied wolves and discovered that they work together to catch prey and to help each other survive. Within each wolf pack or group, one wolf becomes the leader, the alpha, and that wolf is in charge of deciding where the pack goes and leading the hunt for prey. All the other wolves in the group are under the alpha, and they recognize him as the top wolf. But wolves are aggressive animals, and having to live together in a group peacefully does not come naturally to them. Scientists have observed that so much of wolves' communication is about letting each other know who's in charge. For example, when a wolf rolls onto its back to show its belly in front of the alpha wolf, it's telling the alpha, "I'm not a threat to you, you're in charge." When it's clear which wolf is in charge of the pack and what role the other wolves have, the pack is actually better at hunting and catching prey. So, communication between the wolves actually helps them to survive. Since dogs are related to wolves, scientists think that the reason dogs wag their tails probably comes from their wolf origins. It might originally have been a way of saying, "I promise I'm friendly." Dogs and wolves really do communicate with each other. They might not be expressing complicated things the way we human beings can with our spoken language. But just like human beings, wolves live in a group and have different roles. Wolves have an alpha who's in charge of their pack. But human beings form teams or companies, and there's leaders at work and in sports. Wolves and human beings are not the only living things that live in groups to help each other survive. Scientists even have a name for this kind of group living. They call it social behavior. What other kinds of animals do you know of which live in groups and have social behavior?
So what kind of animals can you think of that live in groups? Think to yourself and make a list real quick. Pause the video and give yourself 2 minutes. Just write a timer. Make a timer on your phone or have your parents time you, whatever. But give yourself at least 2 minutes. So pause the video now and do that. Okay, so if you already paused and you've made a list of what kind of animals you think that live in groups, then we can talk about it. So there are, of course, wolves. There's also, do birds live together? Not really. Do alligators? Not really. Snakes? Not really. Reptiles don't really usually, they're really not together. Humans live together. They live in groups. What else? Elephants. Elephants. And the other night when I was driving, I saw a deer, and whenever I see deer, there's always many of them. So deer, or hippos, or horses. Horses live together. Or sheep live together. Or zebra, also known as zebra, is what some people say. Or oh, penguins. Penguins live together. Tell them penguins live together. Or let me give one more. Can't think. Oh, right, monkeys. Monkeys do. And also, we were talking about bees last time, and bees live together. Oh, and ants. There's always ants together. So maybe you got the same thing as I did, or maybe you had more. That's awesome. So how might living in groups be helpful for animals? Do you think it would be easier or harder for a dog or wolf to live by themselves, or an elephant, or a hippo, or this or that? And what about the animals that don't live together? Do you think they're better off by themselves? For example, like snakes, they don't usually live together. Or birds don't usually live together. Sometimes birds live together. Like you'll see when you look into the sky, there's some birds who are together in like hundreds. There's like hundreds of birds together, but most of the time birds are by themselves. So what's the deal with that? Why is that a helpful thing? Do you think maybe that helps them get food or stay alive or find things or think about it for a second. Pause the video and give it a thought.
In today's activity, you're going to watch animals from all over the world and write down what you observe in a field journal. You're going to see some amazing animals like meerkats that live in the Kalahari Desert of Africa and snow monkeys that live in northern Japan. In your field journal, you'll record what you notice, just like scientists do. When you're done, you'll use the information you collected to come up with ideas about why these animals live in groups. I'll show you how to get started, step by step.
So that's what we're going to do when we get back tomorrow.
Get your supplies.
We don't have this materials, which is okay, but I can still give you some questions, and we're still going to observe some animals. We're going to go through, we're going to see what animals are doing and see if we can figure out why they're living in groups. Maybe they're all living in groups for the same reason. Maybe they're for different reasons, depending on the animal. So we're going to see about that tomorrow. Until tomorrow, just think about it. And think and look around and see what animals are living together and which animals are not living together. Why are these living together? What's the point of them living together? Do you think they're doing it just because they want to? Or do you think there's like a good reason? Well, until next time, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.